Hello children, welcome back after a long vacation. Now we are going to start with the next chapter from Science B, chapter number 3. And I think Science B chapter number 3, that means chapter number 8 according to your textbook. Okay, so the name of the lesson is Useful and Harmful Microorganisms. In standard 8th, we had already studied about classification of microorganisms. We know that all the microorganisms belong either to kingdom Monera or to kingdom Protista. Bacteria of all kind belong to kingdom Monera, and others eukaryotic microorganisms, unicellular organisms, they belong to kingdom Protista. So let's have a recap of what all microorganisms do we remember. The most commonly known microbe amoeba. Apart from that, we have paramecium, bacteria of different kind. These all are microorganisms. The instrument used to observe the microorganism is known as microscope. Since they are very small, they cannot be seen by our naked eye. That is why to view the microorganisms we need to use a device known as microscope. Now in your textbook, the most common microbe which we daily have in our kitchen is lactobacilli, and the lactobacilli is present in milk or curd. So what does this lactobacilli do? Is it useful or is it harmful? So lactobacilli is a beneficial or useful microorganism. This microorganism is used to convert milk into curd. So what does this lactobacillus do? This lactobacillus or this bacteria converts the lactose sugar which is present in the milk into lactic acid. And this process of conversion of lactose sugar into lactic acid by help of microbe is known as fermentation of milk. So fermentation of milk converts lactose sugar into lactic acid. Acidity of this lactic acid makes the milk's consistency change. You can see that once the curd is formed from the milk, the consistency changes and it starts lumping. The protein part starts lumping together and the liquid part is separated. So this process occurs due to acidity or acidic component, that is lactic acid, which is formed by help of lactobacillus. So curd actually is useful because this lactobacillus, once enters our digestive system, helps to improve the immunity. That is why you might have heard about Yakults. So this Yakults drink also contains this bacteria, lactobacillus, along with some more bacteria which help to maintain good digestive system, good immunity. And our stomach, our intestine also contains certain useful bacteria. So this lactobacillus helps to maintain the proper growth of these bacteria in our intestine, which are helpful for us. So lactobacillus, apart from helping our body to build up the immune system, to improve our digestive system, lactobacillus is also used in various food products. Like in dairy industry, lactobacillus is used for production of yogurt. Now remember, curd is different from yogurt. How it is different, that we are going to study in standard 10th. But yogurt is also formed by help of this lactobacilli. Cheese production also includes lactobacillus. Nowadays we get probiotic food materials. Probiotic. If you go in the market and ask for curd, you get a separate curd known as probiotic curd. Or even ice creams nowadays, probiotic ice creams are also available. Probiotic means those which are enriched purposely with microorganisms which are beneficial for us. So such probiotic products also require lactobacilli in it. So this was all about lactobacterium. The process of lumping of milk or converting into curd is called as coagulation, where the protein part gets coagulated. Fats and proteins get coagulated and the liquid part gets separated during the formation of yogurt. Now next beneficial or useful microorganism is rhizobium. Rhizobium bacteria is also called as nitrogen fixing bacteria. Now you know that nitrogen is a very essential nutrient for plant growth. Plant require large amount of nitrogen for their growth as well as for production of food also. So this rhizobium is a bacteria which lives in the roots of leguminous plants like green gram, chana, pea, fenugreek, certain other plants also. This bacteria lives in the roots of the plant and it forms the nodules. I'll show you the picture. You can see in the picture next to the explanation. The root nodules are shown and the root nodules contain this bacteria. What do this bacteria do? They form a symbiotic association with leguminous plant. Symbiotic association means give and take. They help each other. Bacteria gets nutrition and protection from the plant. Ready-made food from the roots of the plant as well as protection it gets from the plant. In return, it converts the nitrogen gas in the atmosphere into compounds like nitrates, nitrites and amino acids. So these amino acids are beneficial for plant. So they have an association of give and take. They take shelter, they take protection from plant and in return they give fertilizer or nutrition to the plant. So this is how rhizobium work. Apart from rhizobium, there are many other nitrogen fixing bacteria also. Your assignment will be to find out more about nitrogen fixing bacteria. Find out the information on different types of nitrogen fixing bacteria and prepare a note or prepare a report on it. At least 1 or 2 pages of report on nitrogen fixing bacteria. That will be your assignment and you will be posting it personally to me. Now next, beneficial, and many of them might have used this microbe during lockdown, that is yeast. I hope you all know what yeast is. So yeast, also commonly known as baker's yeast, is used for preparation of bakery products like bread, cake, donuts and many other bakery confectionaries. So this yeast is also a microorganism. Take this powdered yeast, put it in sugar solution and cover it, keep it for a few hours, and after some time if you observe this liquid under the microscope you will see plenty of yeast growing. Now it shows a specific kind of reproduction known as budding. In budding, what happens is if there is one circular yeast, it shows small outgrowth on its surface and that outgrowth starts increasing in size. Small part of nucleus of the parent yeast is transferred to the outgrowth and then the outgrowth which is formed gets separated and it starts its individual life or it forms a new microorganism. So this is how budding occurs in case of yeast. Now yeast is used for, as I told you earlier also, it is used for production of various bakery products like bread. Now how does the yeast work? This yeast, when we are kneading the flour, that flour contains plenty of gluten in it, carbohydrates in them. So this microbe digests the carbohydrate and produce carbon dioxide gas which remains trapped in that dough. That is why after some time you can see the dough rises. So this rising of the dough is due to deposition of large amount of carbon dioxide gas in it, but it is not able to escape, so the size of the dough increases. When you start baking it, due to heat, carbon dioxide gas expands and it starts rising up, and as it starts rising up it also escapes from the dough, making many minute pores or holes in them. That is how our cakes or bakery products, dhokla, idli, they have plenty of tiny pores or it becomes porous. It is due to this carbon dioxide produced by microorganism known as yeast. So this was about yeast. So far we have studied 3 microbes which are beneficial for us. First was lactobacilli, second we studied rhizobium, and third we studied about yeast. Now next beneficial microorganism which is used in pharmaceutical companies or the substance that they produce is called as antibiotics. Now what are antibiotics? So these antibiotics are nothing but the products obtained from certain bacteria which are harmful for growth of other bacteria. Definition is given in your textbook. I'll just read it for you. That is important definition you have to write in your classwork as well. Okay. So antibiotic, it is the definition is given. It's stated as carbon compounds obtained from some bacteria and fungi. It should be or fungi. So carbon compound obtained from some bacteria or fungi for destroying or preventing the growth of harmful microorganisms are called antibiotics. So there are certain product or compounds produced by certain varieties of microbes, especially bacteria or funguses. So these funguses, due to mutation, due to sudden change in their genetics, they start producing a specific compound which is harmful for other microorganisms. So we are extracting these compounds from them and using it as a medicine known as antibiotic. The antibiotics again are of two types based on which all microorganisms can it stop from growing, or which microorganisms can it prevent from growing. So based on that, there are two types of antibiotics known as broad spectrum antibiotic and narrow spectrum antibiotic. Those carbon compounds obtained from certain bacteria which are having limited use or which are active or which can act against limited amount of microorganisms are called as narrow spectrum antibiotic. And on the other hand, those antibiotics which can be used for many different types of microorganisms, for stopping the growth of many different microorganisms, then we call it as broad spectrum antibiotic. So these are the two types of antibiotics, namely narrow spectrum antibiotic and broad spectrum antibiotic, examples of which are given in your textbook. You have to remember the examples of both broad spectrum antibiotic as well as narrow spectrum antibiotic. Now besides this, there is one more thing given in the textbook known as bioremediation. Now more about bioremediation you're going to study in 10th standard. This is just the introduction about what bioremediation is. Now remedy means treatment. Bioremediation means biological treatment for various environmental changes or various environmental pollutions. Certain living organisms can be used to clean the environment. This process is called as bioremediation. Now there are two examples given. First is yeast known as Yarovia lipolytica. This yeast is used to absorb the toxins which are released during extraction of palm oil. While extraction of palm oil, there are very harmful substances which are also produced and they need to be separated from the oil. So that separation is done by help of yeast known as Yarovia lipolytica. Now apart from this, there is one more microbe known as Saccharomyces cerevisiae. This is also an example of yeast. This Saccharomyces cerevisiae is used for absorption of harmful substance like arsenic from the arsenic during the extraction of minerals from the soil. One more is given known as Alcanovorax bacteria. This Alcanovorax bacteria has been proved as a boon for oil spills. Many times if there is oil spill in the sea, that oil can be digested by help of the bacteria known as Alcanovorax bacteria. So all these things we are going to study in detail in 10th standard. This is just about introduction of various microbes which are beneficial. So antibiotic, one of the most common antibiotic that we use is penicillin. Now discovery of penicillin was accidental. There was a scientist known as Alexander Fleming who was studying staphylococci. So this staphylococci bacteria actually is harmful for human beings. and the scientist was studying about staphylococci. He had grown the staphylococci bacteria in the petri dish. On one of his dish, he observed that certain fungus have started growing in the dish. Instead of that bacteria, the fungus had started growing, and on the place where the fungus was growing, the bacteria was killed, or the bacterial colonies were going away from the fungus. So he started studying what is present in this fungus that is killing this staphylococci, and this is how he discovered the fungus known as penicillium, and the medicine obtained from penicillium is called as penicillin. Penicillin is used in treatment of various diseases. Which diseases it can cure, it is given in your textbook. It contains bacterial infection, ear, nose and throat infection, and pneumonia also can be cured by help of penicillin, which is obtained from fungus known as penicillium. So that was about penicillin, an antibiotic. Now these three, or whatever we studied till now, they were beneficial or useful microorganisms. Next period we will start with harmful microorganisms. Thank you.